House sitting with kids. Is it possible?
Yes, it is. Bob the Builder, can we fix it? Bob the Builder, yes we can.
Scoop, muck and dizzy and rolly too.
House sitting is actually an amazing part of travel. We love it now. But in the beginning, we thought it would never be for us because we have 5 children.
Okay. No! Hey! Not having chips!
Yeah, I don't think she's getting on board with the plan, honey.
But we have learnt some really proven ways, 7 proven ways that have made it possible for us to house sit our way around the world. To begin with, we're going to give you a little taste of a story that will continue at the end. When we first began house sitting, it went really badly. Should we just tell the story?
No. We'll keep him in suspense.
All right. Tip number 1, have an excellent profile. And this might seem logical, but many people do not have excellent profiles if you have a look through some of the house sitting websites.
There is some Barry Crockers out there.
So if you are going to give house sitting a go, which we recommend, is actually wonderful. We highly, strongly, tip number 1 is have an excellent profile. Give a lot of details, show a little bit of your personality, have really good photos, have lots of photos that are good quality. If you're applying for house sits with kids, have photos of your kids. Just make sure they're like clean and nice looking.
Well behaved. Not one of those crazy photos from some holiday somewhere.
We have our profile picture on one of the house sitting websites is like we were at a wedding. And so we all look really shined up.
Shiny, I will sparkle like a wealthy woman's neck.
Very responsible.
So you want to show you at your best, but be realistic as well. Like, meaning we have the wedding photo, but we also have a couple of other photos of the kids playing and things like that. So we want to show this is who we are. Yes, we have kids, but they're cheerful, happy-looking children.
They're not feral. You don't want to let your pictures suggest that they're feral animals. Yeah, and I think one of the other things that for us has made a big difference is the fact that we had a profile somewhere else. So one of the first things that was really important for us, now that we've tried it a second time, is that we've got a long and really good profile on Airbnb with all the different places we've stayed at and all the great references, and that you can actually refer them to that and they can go and view all the Airbnb responses as well, which has been awesome.
Within your references, when you're applying for house sits with kids, talk about your kids. And what we like to do is we say, we know that we have 5 kids and that's a lot of children, but we've done a lot of traveling. Our kids are really good at looking after their things and packing up after themselves, and we're really good at cleaning up the home once we're finished. So we talk about, yes, we have kids and these are their strengths and these are their weaknesses. More on the strengths.
Yeah.
We talk about how our children love animals, and you know, we talk about our kids being a strength.
Yeah. Don't hide the fact that you have children, but just talk them up a little bit. Make sure you talk about their strengths.
He took out a whole armada single-handedly. With one arm, he was steering the ship, and with the other, he held his mighty sword.
And if you go into detail, that really helps too. If you say things like, we make sure that we check with you and we put away any breakable things, we kind of put them up high so the kids can't reach them. And you let them know the things that you do, that you would be willing to do in a house sit to make sure that their home is loved and protected and your kids will be respectful of their space.
Yeah.
Now, some platforms prioritize references that you've received from within their platform. So to begin with, you need to have some references from people that have known you for a long time and have some sort of like logical reason why they would recommend you. So maybe your landlord, or maybe your ecclesiastical leader, or someone with a bit of oomph,
Bit of clout.
bit of clout.
Bit of clout.
Yeah.
Not just your bestie from next door.
And ask them to include in their references things like if they can recommend that you look after your home really nicely if it's clean and tidy and things like that. Now, with including photos and great references, one other thing that helps is just as much information about you as possible that shows that you're an honest person and you're open about who you are. So,
And responsible.
So even if you have a blog or a website, that's excellent. That has helped us a lot. Once we created our own blog and website, it shows that this is who we are. Come have a look. We're really open about it. We're honest. And I think that has helped us to secure house sitting jobs.
Absolutely.
Or even you could link your Instagram account. So just have lots of ways for people to get a feel for who you are.
Tip number 2, be one of the first 5 applicants for the house sitting job.
If you apply and there's already been like 20 to 30 applicants,
Forget it.
You've got no hope.
All over Red Rover.
If you're getting quick, it helps you to have a much better chance at being chosen as the house sitter.
I think most house sitters want to make a quick decision about that. We've noticed that, like, if we're within the first 5 applicants, we'll generally have, if they're going to choose us, and they generally make a pretty good informed decision before they even contact you, generally it's done very quickly within the first couple of days.
Yeah,
so be quick.
And if someone's read 20 applications, they're not going to be very interested in the ones afterwards.
Correct.
So the way that we make sure that we are finding the house sits we're looking for, some websites allow you to set up an alert. So you can pick a geographical location, or you can set a time period. There's different things that you can stipulate your search.
And for us, family friendly, right?
Yeah, so we often create a search, make it family friendly, make it in a particular state or a particular country, and then anytime an available house sit pops up, bing, it pops up on my phone. So I can be one of the first applicants that way by staying on top of it. Tip number 3, are looking for house sitting jobs and you have children, apply for house sitting jobs that would be a really good fit for you and you would be a good fit for them. Like a mutual win-win happy place.
Yes. So if you're a family that might have 1 or 2 children that live in an apartment somewhere in New York City, probably not a good idea to apply for house sits that are on a farm looking after horses and sheep and goats and
Unless
dogs.
you have some experience with that.
Yes.
So
Just make it, in line with what experience you have. Otherwise, you can get yourself into a lot of mess.
like when we first started, we thought that people wouldn't want us because we have so many kids, but we do have strengths. So we have experience on a farm. We're really good at handiwork. We are really tidy. What else are our strengths?
Well, our
We're
kids
great
have
with
looked
animals.
after animals.
Yeah. And so we look for house sits that we would be a good fit for them, that they would be like, yeah, this family could do a great job for what we're imagining we would like to have for our house sit, and that we're okay that they would be a good fit for us. For example, if they have 7 dogs and they want them all walked twice a day at particular times of the day, for our family, that's a definite bad fit.
No way, Jose.
But if they have some chickens and some cows and they have 1 dog they want walked, or, it's within the realm of what we feel we could do a really good job, then I get a feeling. It's like you kind of like read the description, you get a feeling, you're like, yeah, I feel like I would be a good fit for them. Tip number 4, focus on what you can do for them. So when you're applying for the house sit, talk more about what you can do for them than what the house sit would do for you. So if you apply and you're like, oh, I've always wanted to go to Germany, I would love to go to Oktoberfest and it's my mother's homeland, it's a little bit about more than them. So when you're applying, talk about what you can do for them. So with kids, it actually makes it easier. So when you have kids, you can say like, our kids love, and they do, they love petting animals and looking after them and feeding them, and they'll get lots of love and attention, and that kind of thing helps people feel like you're really going to care for their pets and look after them. Another recommendation with this is to be really honest about your strengths and your weaknesses. So for example, we applied for a house sit in DC and it was winter, and she had said something in the description about shoveling the driveway,
Yes, salting
the
shoveling
road
driveway.
or something. We're from Australia.
Never salted a driveway in my life.
Never done that before. So in my application, I mentioned that and I said, we are very happy to do anything like that you would like. We haven't done it before, but we're really happy for you to give us instructions and we'll do it. And she really liked that. She liked that we had been specific about being willing to do that job.
Yeah.
And I think that definitely helped in us getting that house sit.
Absolutely.
Another house sit that we applied for and won was quite a large hobby farm. And I have had experience with horses a long time ago when I was younger. And this farm had a number of horses and a number of dogs, and it was a whole menagerie. But we were going to do it for a week and it just looked amazing. And so I was just really honest about that. And I was honest about how Ross was going to be on break, and so we would have all our time to look after their farm, and we would love to do that, but I don't have any recent experience with horses, but I'm really willing to learn. So I think that if you just let people know exactly what you can offer and what you're willing to do, that helps people feel confidence.
Yeah, that's the thing. By admitting some of those things that you can and can't do, that they gain confidence. House sitting is about being confident in the person that they're bringing in to look after their pets and their house. So if they think that you're not being honest, you're going to lose it straight away.
But everyone has strengths, and so when you're looking for a house sit and you've found one that's a good fit, think about what it is that you can do for them. Why would they like to have you to be the one to house sit?
Tip number 5, treat it like a job. Now this goes from the very beginning of the application all the way through to the end.
The interview process is important, and then through the experience of house sitting for somebody, make sure that you have excellent communication.
Oh yeah.
So if something breaks, and that happens with kids, or maybe their house has a couple of things that are on the edge of breaking.
Very soon to break.
Yes. And
because you're
towel
not
rail falls
going.
off.
It's not a hotel.
Yeah.
Things may go wrong. It's somebody's house that they live in, so things are decrepit at times. So
we just make sure that we openly communicate with them all the time about how we're going in the house and about their pets. So we give them regular updates about things are going well. It's nice to take some photos showing your kids enjoying the pets and things like that.
Just give them updates. They're your employer, really, for that period of time. They're employing you to do this, and they're giving your payment is the fact you can stay there for free. So treat it like that.
And finally, on this topic, make sure that when you leave, you clean the house top to bottom. So it's saving you a lot of money, and you're doing them a service too. It really is an exchange of services. But if you view it like a job, when you finish up, make sure that you just clean everything beautifully.
Make it look amazing.
Yeah. Tip number 6, leave a personal touch. So after you've had excellent communication and you've cleaned the house top to bottom, when you leave, make sure you leave something lovely. We like to leave a big bunch of flowers, and depending on the circumstances, but we like to leave some food for them to have, maybe some muffins or some soup or some dinner. And then maybe it's nice to have a handwritten note of thank you.
Yeah, I think Skylar also makes a goodies basket with fancy stuff. A bit of chocolate and...
Our first house, it was such a positive experience. It was we could feel from them how grateful they were to have someone caring for their home.
They left us stuff, a welcome pack.
A welcome pack. It was Christmas, and so they'd left all these hot chocolate mugs, and it was adorable. And then when we left all these chocolates and flowers, and it just felt like we were mutually really just thrilled with having this experience, and it was so positive.
Yep.
It was that positive experience that we were like, this is fantastic, and it's launched us to try and do this more and more in our lives.
And don't forget to stock the fridge.
Oh,
Nobody
yes.
wants to come back from a holiday with nothing in the fridge.
7, 6, 5, 4.
And the pantry. So what we did was we took a picture of what was in the fridge and what was in the pantry when we arrived, to make sure that we have at least that, if not more, when they come back.
It's better to have more. Fill the fruit bowl.
get the
Stock the
necessities,
cupboard,
bread
yeah.
and milk and
Toilet
other
paper,
things.
all that stuff, yeah.
If you use stuff from their fridge, like particular condiments or other things that are fancy, then replace it and put it back in there for them. Tip number 7. Make sure you do everything possible to get a 5-star review for your first house sit.
That helps people feel a lot of trust in your family. So if you're looking for house sitting jobs with kids, do everything you can to help the homeowner feel comfortable and pleased with the experience so that they give you a 5-star review. If you can get a 5-star review from within the what do you call it, the website,
Yep.
then that makes it so much easier to get more jobs. One great way to go about getting your first house sitting job, practice a little bit and get a 5-star review in the beginning, is to go local first.
Yeah.
So I did this with a good friend of mine. Actually, it was her account, so it was her first house sit, and we went on a girls' weekend an hour away. It was great. It was just me and her, and we were looking after this cute little puppy for the weekend. We had a great girls' weekend for free, and it was amazing. And then she got a 5-star review, and that has helped her to continue to house sit. There are some amazing benefits of house sitting. It might feel like a lot of work, but it's so worth it. And if you just have a look at each of these 7 tips, it's totally doable if you're a family with kids. It's totally achievable.
For us, it's actually really helped us financially to be able to do some of the things we've done. I mean, accommodation is probably the largest expense for us. And so if you can have one house sit was for 3 months. We had 3 months rent free, which
Yeah.
is significant savings.
Yeah, and so you save money, and there's other benefits as well. Like, we actually love animals, and so we love our kids to have the opportunity to practice that kind of responsibility. So when we're able to house sit, the kids get to have animals in their life and cuddle them and feed them and look after them, and it teaches them all those great qualities that we would like to teach them, but is a bit more challenging when you're a traveller.
Yeah. So we've house sit cats and dogs and fish and chickens and even a bearded dragon.
Other benefits are when you house sit, you don't feel as much like a tourist. You can feel more like a local. So when we've house sat before, we get to meet the neighbours and some of their friends and kind of immerse ourselves more into the experience of where we're travelling to. And it's amazing. And another advantage, there's so many advantages, but another advantage is we often get to stay in a space that's a little bit larger than we would have if we were in a hotel or something like that.
Oh yeah.
So we put the work in to look after the animals and do a good job, but then we get to enjoy a bit more space and we're not on top of each other as much. And the last benefit, last but not least, the best benefit is that often you make friends. So we have made some good friends for the people that we've house sat for, which leads me to the story that we promised.
When we first started house sitting, we didn't know any of these things. We were completely green and we failed.
Yeah, we tried to apply for a few around Europe and everyone said no. And so I was like, nah, this isn't for us. And then we ended up getting a house sit through a mutual friend and they highly recommended us. And I was so excited because it was in the Middle East where I love. And it was a sign we were meant to be there. It was like 3 weeks and we got to stay with the family before and after. It was amazing.
The house sit was great.
Yeah, the house sit was amazing. It was us. Like,
how do we make this sound nice? We can't really.
No.
We brought plague and pestilence to the house.
we didn't mean to.
We brought sickness.
We'd come from Penang, Malaysia, and we arrived. I think you always get sick on airplanes.
Yeah, it's the airplanes.
Every time we fly, someone's ended up sick. We arrived in the Middle East, and by the time we got to their house a few days later, our family was like dropping like flies with this terrible sickness. And I was like, oh my gosh, and I was like quarantining them in the upstairs room so that they wouldn't be near the family who was about to go on this amazing holiday to the Czech Republic. Anyway, I felt really bad about that. And then while they were away, we were doing our best, but we had not looked after turkeys before, and there was this mother turkey who was having babies and flinging them.
And killing them.
It was very distressing and we were just terrible at it. And anyway, we just failed. And then they came home. This is too embarrassing.
Yes, they came home.
I don't think I want to tell the world.
Come on, tell the world.
We picked it up from Malaysia, but like our whole family has scabies.
Not our whole family. I did not have scabies. Just for the record. Everyone else had scabies. And if you don't know what scabies are, it's like a little insect that burrows underneath your skin.
It's like from a zombie movie or something. It's so bad.
It wasn't that
But
bad. It just itched a lot and had a rash. And so for a
we
couple of
didn't
days we
quite
had
know
to...
what it was.
Yeah.
And when they arrived home, the husband is a paramedic, and so he was like, I think you've got scabies. So we did go to the doctors, and yes.
We got cream and we fixed it. It was fixed in a couple
But
of
it was
days.
all
No
at
big
their
deal.
house, and they were so nice about them. I will love them forever.
Thank you.
Thank you for the charity and kindness that they showed us. We came to house sit for them. Not everything always goes perfect when you house sit, but it can be a mutually wonderful experience. And if it's not, you may make a lifelong friend.
Which we did.
We did. I will owe them forever.
So we hope that our 7 tips have been helpful to you, and good luck with your house sitting adventures.
Before you go, we'll let you know some of our favourite house sitting websites. So our number 1 favourite house sitting website is trustedhousesitters.com. We'll put the link below. And other platforms that we really like are, for America, House Sitters America is really great. And for Europe, House Carers. There are often house sitting websites that target different parts of the world. So if you just have a Google search to check out what the best house sitting groups are for Europe or for America or for Australia and New Zealand, you'll come up with different answers. So we have had a lot of good success on Trusted House Sitters. So that's probably our favourite platform. But we always check out many others as well. So good luck, everyone. Don't be afraid to house sit with kids. It can be an amazing, fun experience and open up the world to you like you never may have guessed. Thanks, and join us next time for some more fun stories and tips and tricks. Bye,
Bye guys.
House sitting. House sitting. With kids.
With kids. So long.
Farewell.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Goodbye.